Welcome to Isa's Chaos Kitchen. Today, we're gonna be making pozole. In Mexico, this is called maiz pozolero because we use it to make pozole, which is the best soup ever. Because a couple of years ago, Ina Garten did a pozole recipe and Mexicans went insane, dude. We were offended, man. You think Italians get pissed in the comments? The Mexicans were pissed in the comments. But it got me thinking, what is pozole? Because as it happens with a lot of recipes in Mexico, you have stuff like pozole, which is, what is it? Anyways, I'm gonna do my version. So in Mexico, they sell you this maiz pozolero. This one is called mote because this is from like Peru or something. I know a place that sells them already hydrated, but I got this one. So we have to hydrate. So as it goes with legumes and pozole, which is not a legume, you have to do this with beans as well. Basically, you have to do like 1 to 2. So if you do 1 cup of the dried ingredient, you have to do 2 cups of water. That makes sense? Like double. I could have just said double. This says 500 grams, so that's probably gonna be 2 cups. I'm making it all, because if not, I just have it already then. So you see, it's 3 cups. Therefore, we would need 6 cups of water. This is not sparkling water. I buy Vichy Catalan, and then I keep the thingies, and then I refill them with my Brita filter. And then I have cold water. Like, come on now, this is a nice bottle to have refilled, like in your fridge. Anyways, see you tomorrow. As you see, the corn, maiz, pozole, mote, whatever, it's doubled in size and it's whiter because it's been hydrated. So this we put to the side. However, we're not gonna start cooking just yet because we have to have another preliminary step. Fun times. So when you're making soups, the best thing you can do is do stock, right? Because it makes the food tastes better. Now, the fun thing about stock is that you make it with trash. Onion skins, garlic skins, carrot skins. I have this here in my little Ziploc bag that I freeze it. And you can use all the like trash, you know, like garlic skins, everything for your stock. Finally, chicken bones. You know, you just buy a whole chicken and then you cut it up and you keep the bones and the spine and stuff. So I'm gonna do half of the chicken bones. And then you cover this with water and you put it to boil. And that takes about an hour. And then you have some great chicken stock for your soup. So
1 hour later,
the stock is basically done. So what you need for pozole, at least my pozole. So maiz mote, pork loin, chile guajillo, which you can get these at like Mexican stores, or if you go to Mexico, you can get them because they have it everywhere. So guajillo chilies, lettuce, iceberg lettuce, and radish. And then a whole head of garlic. Ta-da! To begin, tie your hair. Ever think about, like in Grey's Anatomy, how these people are doctors and they're always running around with their hair down? Like, girl, you're a doctor. Why would you have your hair down and like perfectly done like you're about to go to a freaking magazine photo shoot? On your apron, because it's important to wear aprons. Anyways, remember to always have a little thingy. You know, that's what the chefs do. See, this one is red, so it goes with my shrimp. This is not shrimp. It goes with my crabs. The stock is done, but we need to get rid of like the things that gave the stock its flavor. So you know, the chicken bones and the like onion butt or whatever. First things first, you need to hydrate your chilies, right? So you take your chili. These ones don't have the heads. Wait. I need to have a trash bowl. This is where you put all the trash and then you add it to the organic. So, wait. I used to do the hydrating first and then do the devining. Then I realized you don't have to do that. It's so much easier to get rid of the seeds beforehand and get rid of the stem, because if not, you're dealing with like hot chili. Not usually hot, but like, okay. Anyways, for dried chilies, cut it in half, and then you can take out the seeds because you don't need the seeds to make this paste. Basically, the way pozole works is that you make a soup like just a normal soup, but the red color and the flavoring comes from a paste that you make from the hydrated chilies. So we call it adobo. They sell it in Mexico. They just sell the adobo already pre-made. So you can use that for enchiladas, marinating meats to make tacos. Like if you're gonna do cochinita pibil, you also, or pastor, you need this hydrated guajillo, right? So in Mexico, they sell it already made, but they don't sell it in Europe, so you have to make your own adobo. And I'm also kind of the type of girl that is like the way I'm making stock, like obviously they also sell stock in the supermarket, but it's like, I'm gonna make my own stock because I'm annoying that way. You know, I'm like, you should make your own stock, you guys, because it's more pure. Oh, you have store-bought? I make my own stock. I'm not like that. This like leathery thing, which is your chili. And so you have to make sure that they're all submerged in water. So what you do is you add water until they're all covered, and to make sure that they are hydrating correctly, like because they float, right? Because they're dried chilies, they float. So what you have to do is take a thingy and you weigh it down, and then you need to cook your thingies. So put them in a pan and cover them with water until they are submerged. Take your stock, which is good and ready, and that is where you put your thingies. So now you have to take your stock and put it here so you can use it later, because you need this pot. At least I need this pot because this is the only big pot I have. This is like my risotto and soup and beef bourguignon and everything. This is my everything Dutch oven. My parents were like, oh, you really like your Dutch oven? I was like, yeah, I love it. I use it for everything. And so they bought their own Dutch oven and they hate it. They never use it. They're like, why do you use it? I'm like, for bread. The best bread I've ever made is a Dutch oven bread. You can make carbonade flammade. Oh my God, when I was in Brugge, how do you even pronounce that? In Bruges, it's funner in Spanish. Do you know what it's in Spanish? It's brujas, like witch. That's the word for witch in Spanish, bruja. And that's what the name of the town is called in Spanish. It's just witch. The witches live here. I was in Brugge. I tried carbonade flammade or stoffels, whatever it's called. Bro, that is so good. I tried to remake it, but nothing compares to the one I had like on the street in Brugge. So damn good. You have all the things you use to make your stock. So I'm gonna put it to the side. So while we're waiting, we can start chopping up the things we're gonna put on top. So the traditional is radish, oregano, lettuce, and chile piquin. The important thing is that the lettuce is cut up in small pieces. One time my mom got so mad at me because I cut the lettuce and it was too big for her, and she was like, what is this? It has to be bite-sized. And I was like, Mom, it's fine. She's like, no, you cut it again. And she made me cut the lettuce again. So you need to get the smallest strips that you can, because the idea is that it's like little strips of lettuce. So this would be correct. I hope my mother is proud of me. You need a full head and you just have to cut it in half. So we will put this out for later, because it is for later. So now you have your cut up lettuce, your radish, your head. We are done chopping. Chilies are good and ready. So now that they're hydrated, they're a little bit hot. You need to grab these chilies and blend them. And you can add a little bit of water, of the water where you hydrated the chilies. Oh, I left the chili in there. Oh no! You blend up your chilies. Okay, I'm gonna try another one because this is not blending how I want it. Ta-da! Oh. So, I have your paste here. You have to sieve it because you need to get rid of the skins. But you also need to cook your pork and your soup. Right now, what we're gonna do is start on the soup. We are waiting for your pan to get hot so you can sear your pork, because the whole point of a Dutch oven is that you sear your meat before you cook it. That's how beef bourguignon works. That's how stoffels works as well. Chop your pork loin into like smaller pieces, right? Because you will be deshebrar. What is deshebrar? You know pulled pork? How it's like pulled. In Spanish, we call it deshebrar. That's the act of like pulling. But I guess in English, there's no word for like pulling. It's like it's pulled pork or it's pulled shredded chicken. See how funny that is? That it's like, if it's chicken, it's shredded. If it's pork, it's pulled. In Spanish, you just have the one word that is the action. Like deshebrar, it's what you do to the meat. You start adding pieces of your like pork chunks. So you sear parts of your thingy and then you get it out because you're not gonna cook it fully now. And the next step is my least favorite part of this recipe. This is how you get adobo. I always think about stuff that pisses me off. A lot of things piss me off. I am a hater, you know? But the thing about Mexican cuisine that really pisses me off is that like people, they're like, oh, it's a chili. It's just gonna be spicy. Every chili has a different flavor. They don't taste the same. Say that chili is chili. It's just, here's your palate. You know, a chipotle tastes different than an habanero, tastes different than a chile de árbol, tastes different than a guajillo. Learn your chilies. You can't just say, oh, chili. Because different chilies have different flavors. So why are you like supposing that it's the same thing? Mexican cuisine is like so much bigger than just saying it's spicy. Like, but how is it spicy? It's stressful sometimes that people just say spicy. Like, come on now. So pork is seared. So now you add your maiz pozolero y your maiz mote. Ow! You add in your half a garlic head. I dropped one. See that you cut in half, so you put the whole thing in there. Boom. And then it's time to add in your stock. So it starts cooking. I think you add the pork now. I'm gonna add the pork now. I'm gonna top it up. That smells amazing. You have now done all your chilies, so you need to sieve it. So now you have adobo, which if you look at it, it has the maroon color that you get from chipotle. Because chipotle also has this like maroon coloring. But chipotle is chunkier than this because this one, you're making sure that all the pieces are out. This is all skin of the chili. I hate sieving things. I made gazpacho the other day and I had to sieve it and I was so pissed off. Okay, so I think I'm good. I've taken out a lot of adobo. Pro tip, clean while you wait. I clean while I wait for my soup. I put stuff away. And then by the time you're ready to eat, everything is cleaned up. Because you already like put stuff away and cleaned up your dishes. That is kind of shit. Okay, so the other day I got mushrooms from this one place. And then when I opened them up, they were full of worms. And now I got these radishes and they're kind of shit. So I think I can't go to that fruit place anymore because this guy keeps telling me like shitty, it's a shitty fruit place. Can't go there anymore. Anyways, my pozole is ready. So my pozole is ready. It's time
To salt.
I will tell you the secret to why Mexican food is so good. Do you want to know the secret as to why Mexican food is so good? Mexican moms do not use salt. They use bouillon cubes, which is concentrated stock. Actually, in Mexico, they directly sell it in dust form. But here you have to buy the squares. And that's why Mexican food is so good. Like you see it, every mom recipe is like Nor Suiza. So now that my soup is ready, I'm gonna take a pork piece, kind of, you know, deshebrar, as I said before. Shred it later with my KitchenAid. I do like doing the like KitchenAid shredding thing because I read it on the internet and it does work and I'm lazy. So, look, the head of garlic. So this you should take out. So now be lazy and have your KitchenAid shredded. No, it's funny because this hack actually does work. Like look how well shredded this is. This is actually a good internet hack. So now everything is shredded and that's when you add in your adobo. I'm gonna add a little bit. So now you prepare your pozole. You make sure you have a little bit of everything. So pork and maiz pozolero. So you have this. You have your lechuga, your rábano, your oregano. And there you have it, pozole. Your little pozole here. And your final thingy. Doo doo doo. Enjoy.